G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is an AMP10K submachine gun. This is a weapon that takes elements from the 10mm submachine gun from Fallout 3 New Vegas and Fallout 76 and mashes it together with elements from the AMP5K submachine gun, which is a real-life German-made submachine gun manufactured by Heckler & Koch. Unfortunately, this reload animation doesn't contain a HK slap. It's more akin to the 10mm pistol side of things, but it's a pretty cool-looking weapon. You could argue that it's very lore plausible because, well, it looks just like a 10mm submachine gun. A little bit of UMP here as well with that long stick magazine, but as we get into the attachments here, you'll see the MP5K sort of come out of it. But first, we'll get to the receivers. First of all, we've got the medium receiver. This gives you a good balance of its DPS and fire rate. You'll notice that you won't be able to change the damage per bullet with any of these attachments whatsoever. This just controls the range, fire rate, and accuracy, which will in turn increase or decrease your DPS. So the low fire rate will give you the best range and best accuracy, but lowest fire rate, which means a low DPS. Very controllable, but not very good. I suppose it'd be slightly more consistent at range, but honestly, you want this thing to be a close quarters shredder. 107 range is pretty low. It's actually very, very low indeed, but that DPS that you get out of it, over 2,000, that's going to make it a pretty strong weapon, at least in close quarters, where you can get that full measure of damage. So we'll throw that one on, and we'll move over to the barrels. Now, this is where you can throw the foregrip on, which, as you can tell, turns it into more of an MP5K, and this one even has a flashlight attachment there, which is going to be quite not very useful, quite worthless during the daylight, so we won't be bothering putting that one on. It's also got that little hand stop there. That's a very important detail of the MP5K. Plus, it's got that wood furniture as well, which gives the weapon that classic Cold War Fallout feel, so that also helps it along its way for it to be lore plausible. Next, we've got the stock. So we've got a short stock now, which is completely removed. You can have a folding stock. Is it a folding stock or just a fold stock? Oh, yep, there's the folding hinge right there. That's kind of cool. You also have a long stock there, which is a more fixed thing, better for recoil control, heavier stock, so we'll throw that one on. And now we get to the magazine. So you can have this thing down-chambered in the 38 rounds, which will decrease your damage, but give it a more of a curved design for the magazine. You've also got a quad stack magazine, which gives you 50 rounds in that magazine. That seems like the strongest one here. Small magazine for 15 rounds. Why would you? Unless you want to keep this thing super light. It's only reducing the thing by 0.6 pounds, so I don't know what the point is. And lastly, you've got the option for a smaller version for the 38 magazine, but yeah, won't even bother with those things. And now we've got the sights. You can have a red dot sight, iron sight, or a red dot sight with a 3x multiplier, magnifier in fact, actually. Okay. Might try that for a lower fire rate and make a sniper status version of the AMP10K, but it'll go for a reflex sight on this one. And we've got a muzzle slot with a compensator, a muzzle brake, or a suppressor, which gives you a suppressor that's a little bit like the old Sleepy Time suppressor from Fallout New Vegas, which, yes, looks very good. So we'll throw that one on. That gives it a little bit of extra damage thanks to your ace operator, doing a more respectable 2600 DPS now, which should be pretty good. That'll reduce our range even further, but we're going to be up close and personal with this thing anyway, so we'll do that. Next, we've got a legendary effect slot. Thanks to legendary modification, we'll leave that neutral, and we'll go over to the paints. So you can have base paint, dual tone, which is kind of cool looking. You've also got slight wear, which gives it a nice dark, stealthy status paint, so we'll throw that one on. And sparkle sparkle. It sparkles a little bit and it's very shiny. It makes all the furniture black as well. That's kind of cool. It'd be cool if I could take the furniture color from this one and then put it onto that one. So we've got ultimate sniper status, but it's just not meant to be. All right, let's make a couple more of these and show you how to get them, and then we'll start. Also, there's a lot of room here between the I don't even know what that is. Is that supposed to be like a fold stock or something? Who knows? But there's a lot of room between that and the foregrip there, so it looks kind of uncomfortable. But you know, that's not a me problem. That's a Camille problem. The AMP10K is injected onto the leveled list. You'll find it on most merchants and probably out there in the wasteland at level 21, which is an interesting level, which would suggest some sort of medium to sort of late game approach to it. So maybe it'll be okay, but we'll pick this up. It's fairly expensive, but hopefully we're getting what we're paying for, aren't we, Chloe? Yes. Okay, so here we are outside of the Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our AMP SMG in first person, and its reflex sight there looking pretty cool. Looks like a aim point reflex sight that they use in real life. The rate of fire on this thing tuned to be very high. The recoil animation in first person is a little bit, well, the weapon's sort of going to get in the way of it a little bit. But if you go into third person and shoot, the spread isn't actually too bad at all. There's the reload animations in third person, by the way. So here's the sniper status version that I made with that slightly different skin on it, with that little bit of extra tan on it. This one has the 3 times multiplier on the scope and the slower rate of fire receiver, which is this. Despite its lower rate of fire, I feel like this thing is going to be less accurate simply because the recoil is pushing the muzzle so far around that it's going to be hard to get a shot at any distance at all. So maybe having a 3 times scope is kind of pushing it, but we'll see if we can make it work. And lastly, we've got the one-handed one here, just with the big magazine, two-handed there in third person, as it turns out. But yeah, the weapon is small enough to make it plausible to use in one hand like that, so that's pretty cool. It is a shame that it's not used in one hand in third person, however, but it's fine. Anyway, so let's get started. We'll see how we go, and, well, we'll use the sniper one and see if we can't get a couple of easy headshots here and there. It looks like the suppressed sounds haven't been applied for slow motion. That's fine. They exist in the normal version, but yeah, that's a little bit of a bug that can be cleaned up very quick indeed. So we won't harp on that one too much. All right, we'll go full auto against these guys. All right, as they're creeping a little bit closer. Oh, okay. Here's a target-rich environment. Let's see what this bad boy can do. Our VATS burst should be pretty long thanks to the fact this thing's got such a low rate of fire. We've actually done pretty well there, and a Grim Reaper sprint to go along with that. Unfortunately, Mysterious Stranger has shown up, so he's going to stop us from getting sneak criticals, so we'll just shoot him instead. Cop that, mate. How dare you ruin my stealth. So far, so good. It's kind of exceeding expectations so far, although we are kind of cheesing it at the moment with all of this stealth, so maybe we should perhaps let them get a little bit closer, then start hosing them down a little bit faster. Oh, look at the rate of fire and the DPS difference here. It's weird. It feels like it's more accurate with the faster fire rate receiver because the recoil doesn't have as much time to move the camera between shots, so it's just way more precise this way, which is kind of hilarious. Oh, here comes the cavalry. See all those people up there? They're coming along. Anyways, let's just take it to them. Here we go. Ah, yes. The stuttering of the new faces being loaded in. That's just normal. Don't worry about it. Surprisingly effective on its AP usage. We did get a lucky Grim Reaper sprint proc there, I believe. So that helped us out a little bit. But in close quarters, this thing should absolutely shred. And we've got an ammo capacity to back it up too, so we can get that 2 1/4 kills out of it. Against these gunners, it's no small feat considering the caliber we're using. Very small bullets, very cheap bullets. I would say that it is comfortably outperforming a 10mm pistol at this stage, despite its possibly lower damage. It's all in the rate of fire, you understand. See, these gunners out here, they're in the blonde Sheila era as well, which is coming to an end, which is funny because after this cycle, the first one back is blonde again. We stopped being blonde at the second one. That's winter, but yeah, we'll worry about that a little bit later. Anyways, so we'll keep going. Are we back in a caution? Didn't realize we were that bloody stealthy, but there we go. I'm not going to say no to all of this free damage. We haven't really explored this thing in VATS. It's probably not going to be super awesome because of its range stat, but we can utilize criticals to get the job done, which we haven't really done that much thus far. Haven't really needed to, which is a credit to the weapon. If you don't have to manufacture damage out of it using VATS and criticals, you can safely say that the weapon is strong enough to hold its own. And yeah, despite its, well, my original preconceptions about this weapon mod, I feel like it's actually quite well balanced, honestly. It's not going to be blowing everything away, but a thing that spawns at level 21 to carry you sort of mid to sort of late game, end game might be pushing it for a weapon like this, but it can definitely do the job. Get out of here, gunner. And I believe the only ones left would be in here, so we'll hit them with a door breach and see what we can do. Classic bobby pin. I think half of that burst went directly into the wall frame there. Classic. Alright, and it looks like we're done. And yeah, that was a pretty good cleanup job there. We did get a lot of sneak criticals at the start to get a really good you know, head start on these guys, but even in close quarters when I was engaging 2-3 of them at once, you just hit them, and you hit them so hard and fast that they just stagger, and it'll neutralize them for a second so they weren't shooting back. So yeah, I'm actually genuinely impressed about this weapon. Also, that hair color is dirty blonde. For some reason, some of these mod hairstyles make it look a little bit more brown, but if you squint your eyes, there's definitely blonde in it. By the way, this is VTOR Fitness. That's what it looks like. It's a pretty cool mod. There's also a bunch of extra colors you can get onto it if you're on VTOR's Patreon payroll, but I am not. So we're stuck with the default, but it's this blue top looks pretty cool, I guess. Okay, so there is the Swan out there, and I'm thinking I might be able to cheese the rate of fire a little bit. If I just spam on the trigger, does that make the fire rate go faster? Kind of. Not really. Oh, that's Genie's junkyard dog. Well, this is what happens when you get in the way of my sneak criticals, Gene. I'll use you for gun fu damage. That's what you get. Alright. Let's hit him up with as many criticals as we can. Oh, nope. We'll just keep on sneaking. Well, where is he? He's really bolted around the corner here. Ah, Mysterious Stranger has shown up, unfortunately. Which means he's going to get immediately stomped on before we get our sneak criticals back. Brilliant. Okay, now witness the power of this thing shredding. Never mind. We didn't get that. We didn't get the close quarters sneak crit shred. But we can chip away his health fairly reliably here. Let's go over to Vats just to see what we can do here. Mysterious Stranger has decided to... Wow, really? Well, that's the range stat for you. It's probably the weapon's crux. You won't be able to use VATS that effectively with it, which is a little bit of a shame, I suppose. Come on now. You're gonna throw a rock. Here it comes, and nope. Ooh, that's in the head. That's a concussion right there. Okay, we'll just tank the next couple of rocks. It's fine. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. Although the situation's getting a little bit dire now. There we go. We're successfully dodging his nonsense. Although, I believe that is Nerd Rage, so let's take advantage of that. We'll cheese the reload in VATS. Use that quick hands perk. Try to shred as much as possible off him. Alright, well, we cut that one a little bit close, but the job is done in the end. And yeah, looks like we won. Slightly, but we leveled up there, so we basically won by a full health bar in the end, so isn't that nice? Let's move on to the next thing and see if we can get the sneak criticals in close quarters working a little bit better. Okay, so there's Mr. Wendigo down there. He's dealing with all his bug mates, so we'll just start shooting at him with our one-handed submachine gun and see how we go. Now, question is our AP usage better with this thing? It is not. We're gonna add a critical though, and probably miss mostly everything else. 2 criticals out of that. That's helpful. Look,
Stop right there.
the bug actually pacified it. Where are you going? Wait, what? Is that a vampiric blood bug? It is, in fact, and whoa. Yep, saw that one coming from a mile away, or rather heard that one. Just gotta make sure we keep dodge rolling out of his way, because he's going to hit hard if he hits us. Yep, like that. Tank that one. For some reason, the blood bug is just gonna fly around doing absolutely nothing. Would have thought I'd be able to command him, but it's not the case. So let's hit him up with a little bit more VATS. Couple of crits, that's pretty nice. I think those crits were wasted in a reload, but what can you do, eh? Perfect dodge. Broke his pathing. Now he's got to get around here. Alright. At this stage, we're doing alright. We're not doing terrible. I think we've got enough AP just to try to get a couple of easy shots on his face as he's coming along. Mysterious Stranger even wants to show up to take a piece of him. If I can distract him, he'll do his full measure of damage. I think he gets an entire magazine, which is a lot of damage you can get out of that. So that's good. Fresh mag on the rebound. 1 crit ready to go. Another Mysterious Stranger. Immediately gets sucker punched. Buys me just that little bit of time there. For some reason, the critical I got before did like 191 damage for an extended period of burst, so that's pretty good. Oh look, the blood bug's back. Actually, I might be able to utilize him for some gun fu damage. A little bit. 11 extra damage per bullet is nothing to sneeze at. And threw him off. Hide behind this log. He's not going to get away around that one, surely. Okay. A lot of diving, ducking, dipping, dodging, all of that, and we got the job done. So that was pretty good. The version of this thing with the iron sights and the one-handed setup actually did pretty good. I don't actually mind the iron sights on this thing. They'd be a little bit more usable if the recoil animation wasn't like that, but sure, it's good for your first shot. We've got the option to eat a corpse. Well, she may look all innocent with little cute pigtails, but no, she's a psychopath. Looks can be deceiving. Okay, now it's nighttime. It's time to get sneak criticals. Not on these guys, though. I want them to die and give me regular old sneak criticals. So if you could do that to me, that would be great. That raider forgot her rifle. His rifle? His. Ugh, misgendered before death. Terrible fate. Alright. And we wait for our AP, take the shot. We've got 3 criticals in the bag now. There's tiny little raiders trying to actually stand up to the might of this machine gun. Now, what are you going to do up there? You're going to peek out from the windowsill? Because I'd like to see that. Come on, you coward. Don't make me come up there. Too late. Alright. That should be good enough now. There's your raider running up to the Mylurk Queen with a stick. I don't think that's going to go well for him, honestly. And with that raider dead, we've got a full measure of crits ready to go. And unfortunately for Mr. Pool Q, the Mylurk Queen didn't take kindly to his, what do you call it? Transgressions? Yes. Alright, the Killclaw Overlord man is now in play. Let's hit him in the head with all of the crits to start off with, just to give him a good sucker punch. We can't cripple his head to lower his perception, but we can do that just for maximum damage. Give me those crits. Give me those crits. Ah, oh, Mysterious Stranger again. You bastard. Big proud of yourself now. You've killed a Mysterious Stranger. It's a friend of me, that perk, because sometimes you're sneak critting and you don't want him to be around, and then he just shows up and breaks his sneak criticals and sufficiently aggroes the enemy to the point where they're now actively searching for me. That helicopter isn't going to help either, honestly, but we'll see how we go. There we go. We've got a full, fresh magazine out of that. That's much better damage. Still in caution, in danger now. We've done quite enough, I think, to ice this Mylurk, so down he goes. Actually, he's being shot at with a shotgun, and for some reason, now that the fight's over, I'm glad this didn't happen during the fight, but now my computer decided to, I don't know, maybe that's like CPU throttling because it's like a 40-degree day today and my computer's not coping. If I put my hand where the fan outlets are, it's quite warm indeed, as is this room. But anyways, that there was the AMP10K submachine gun, and it was pretty fun to use. It's a well-made weapon. The animations, whilst they're custom and they're cool, they could be probably refined a little bit. They're not the best animation we've seen, but, you know, I'm not going to complain about custom-made animations. I can appreciate the effort, but yeah, if you want to see this weapon in your game, check out the link in the description. It should be down there. Worth having a look at if you are interested. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. It also works with classic holstered weapons as well, in case you're wondering what the back of this outfit looks like. There it is.